Good morning, folks. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a terrific week so far. This is part three of my book review for this amazing book that I recommend all entrepreneurs. That Will Never Work by Mark Randolph, CEO, or I should say founder. Yes, CEO and founder of Netflix. Yep, him and Reed Hastings, they have done an incredible job, creating this streaming giant. Something that at the beginning, it wasn't guaranteed that it would work, but it ended up working out. I'm gonna read you guys a little bit of chapter 6. It's called How It Feels to Deposit a Check for Almost 2 Million. For the first few months of the Netflix experiment, I was living a 5-minute walk away in a tiny rental house. Lorraine and I, Lorraine is Mark's wife, had moved there in 1995 after years of living up in the mountains. Tired of the 30-minute drive into Santa Cruz and my hour-and-a-half trek over the hill to work each day, we sold our house in the mountains and moved into a small rental in Scotts Valley, putting away money for the future. I wanted a yard that was larger than a postage stamp, and Lorraine wanted a big house to raise our kids in. There were three of them, and in our tiny rental, it always seemed like they were running into each other. They didn't have much space to play outside either, and we were so close to the highway that the noise of ears kept us up at night. When Lorraine and I were first married, we were about $10,000 in debt. At the time, I was working my first job in direct mail marketing and making about $30,000 a year. Mm. Lorraine's income was about the same. She was making cold calls as an entry-level stockbroker. We set a goal to get out of debt in a year, and for the next 12 months, we kept a meticulous notebook and counting every single expenditure, no matter how minor. Toothpaste, 150. Donut at the train station, 75 cents. That's smart. When it comes to money management, these are things you got to do. You got to write it down on a notebook of things that you're going to be spending on. Although I had quite a bit of startup success early on, I was never a big equity holder. So although I did okay, they weren't huge rewards. My first actual windfall came when I joined Borland, just a few months after my 13th birthday. Sorry, my 30th birthday. Oh my God. Fast forward. Okay. My daily routine in the fall and winter of 1997, in the months before we moved, was everything I ever hoped it would be. I'd wake up and help Lorraine get the kids ready for school, and then I'd hop in my car for the 3-minute drive to the office. Every day at work, I had my pick of hundreds, no, no, thousands of problems to work on. And since I was in charge of and surrounded by brilliant people, I could focus on what interests me. That's one of the great pleasures of being at the helm of a startup in the planning stages. The company is small enough that everyone in it has to wear multiple hats, but big enough that you never have to wear one that doesn't fit properly. Here are just a few of the issues that faced us that fall. Number one, setting up an office. We needed to buy phones, we needed to buy computers, we needed to wire the office so that all of our gadgets actually worked. The second one, building a team. We had a core of 7 people: Christina, Tay, Eric, Boris, Vita, Jim, and I. But there were a lot of holes. We needed someone who could connect us with DVD users. We needed someone who could connect us with studios and distributors. And we need back-end coding and tech talent. The shortest resource in Silicon Valley. We would always need that. Building a team is very key. And me personally, who I'm a founder of two very small companies. I'm still figuring out ways, who do I need to bring to the team? How much do I need to, how much money do I need to raise and things like that. So that's why it's very important to read books like this because, especially for this section, because we always get stuck on, okay, what's next? Where do we start when it comes to starting a business? So me, with my goals in my business, I don't want it to be like massive like Netflix or Amazon, but to make it profitable, but with a small group of team. So yeah, but building a team is very critical and always surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Number three, building the basics. Culture is a reflection of who you are and what you do. It doesn't come carefully worded mission statements and committee meetings. You can talk until you're blue in the face about how your employees are your greatest asset or about how you want to ensure that your office is a great place to work. But eventually, you have to start taking the small steps to put your words into practice. Everybody in the early days took a pay cut to work for us. That wasn't because we were cheap. It was because we didn't know exactly how long we needed to make our money last. And because we need a lot of it to build up our stock of number four on this list. And that number four is building an inventory. Our goal was to have the most complete collection of DVDs in the world. It made good marketing copy and it would separate us from our brick and mortar competitors who were still living in a world where only a handful of their customers owned a DVD player. In 1997, DVD distributors were a motley bunch spread across dozens of states. They were small niche companies, and sometimes it took days to get somebody on the phone. It could take weeks to get a shipment, and half the time it wouldn't have everything you ordered in it. In our quest to build a library of every DVD in existence, we often spend weeks looking for a single copy of a single hard to find title. Number five, building a mailer. One of the biggest problems we had to solve before launch was the mailer. We needed a real mailer, one that would protect the disk on an unpredictable journey through the interstate portal system. Getting the mailer perfect was key. It was the first physical point of contact we'd have with our users. If our disk arrived broken or late, or dinged or scratched, or if a user couldn't figure out how to mail disk back to us using our packaging, then we were doomed. Number six, building a website. In 1997, at the dawn of the e-commerce age, the idea of a website was still only a few years old. And if you wanted to use the internet to sell something, then you had to build it all yourself. That meant thousands of hours of design, coding, testing, and fine tuning. Once a customer had chosen a movie, what would they see? How would they input their information? What would happen if they made a mistake when entering their state's abbreviation or their credit card information? Fast forward to end this part. I felt like my father working on one of his trains. I found satisfaction in lining up all the tasks, investigating all the problems, and then working to solve them. I was in the basement building something, knowing that someday in the near future, I'd have to invite everyone else in to have a look. And I'll leave it right there. That concludes part 3 of That Will Never Work. Next week will be part 4. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please kindly give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, be safe. And may God bless each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend.